this been set up? Oh, okay. I think we are live. Let's go. Do you see us? Is anybody on YouTube? Yes. Okay, I think. Oh. I think we got it. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Little technical difficulties. We're getting there. Let me just. I'm just not too sure where we should be looking right now. Let's look over here. Let me put my lipstick. And then let's get this party started. I'm gonna actually close this just because I feel like it's very noisy. Okay. Are we ready, ladies?
Yeah.
Let me get a card deck. Okay. Hello, happy full moon, everybody. We're just
Full moon in Virgo. Woo.
full moon in Virgo. We might have to talk just a little louder, just to make sure everybody hears. Hopefully everybody hears us. And yeah, so as previously mentioned, we're gonna do a little TarotScope, a horoscope. Leah and Hera will be taking care of that. And then we're gonna go to each sign and actually pull cards. And for all those that stay until the end, you guys will all have a chance to actually get a personal card pull. Cards want to talk today. They want to talk. So Leah, if you want, you can start to slowly but surely to just introduce the energies today.
Full moon in Virgo. It's all about clearing. It's all about letting go of what no longer serves. Virgo is the sign of wellness, health.
I need to go live on Instagram.
I was just about to ask whose camera we're gonna use to go live.
Well, if you want to put yours, you
I could
can.
put mine's for sure.
I was gonna use mine for the cards.
Perfect. The cards, you're gonna do it on YouTube or you're gonna do it on Instagram?
On Instagram, because I can't go live on YouTube right now from my phone.
Oh, okay. Not even through your personal one?
No, my personal one I have to request. It's gonna take 24 hours.
There we go. There we go. We are still learning the ins and outs. Oh, why do I have to log in again? Log into an existing. That's weird. It unlocked me. Okay. Where's the tripod? Tripod. There. Okay. And now we are live on Instagram. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. So we're doing all of it. We're doing all of it. So just a little patience. We're getting there. We are getting there. Do we see everybody? I thought this will be a little lower though.
Do you want to invite me to the?
Absolutely. Let's invite.
I don't know if you want to turn your phone. Oh, it's true. It doesn't work when we do that. It makes us go sideways.
Yeah. go. Do I invite Leah too or no?
She
There we
doesn't
go.
have a tripod.
A little bumpy road over here, you guys. And we have Mama Hera.
I didn't seem to get an invitation.
I sent one. We're gonna have to scoosh over a little more.
Oh, it's the other one.
I don't see it because I already invited you.
It's M-I-M-M.
Yeah, but it's not there because I invited you already.
Oh.
I'm not able to. Oh, there we go. Did you get it? I'm gonna have to scoot over a little more. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Horoscope.
No, for some reason I'm not receiving it.
Well, you can request too.
You should be able to request it.
I don't know. You will need the latest version of Instagram.
Seriously?
To join. Apparently.
Oh my god, I've been trying to avoid to update.
You don't want to.
No. Can we use your phone?
It just logged me out.
No, but
For
from
some
your
reason.
account, I would invite you on your personal account.
Oh, on my personal? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Guys.
I can do it from my laptop.
Sure. This will just, if you do it from your personal, then there'll just be more people that will actually have access and see it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can start the TarotScope, the horoscope, in that case, slowly but surely, while we get the card set up.
I don't know about you guys, but this full moon has got me. It has gotten me sleepless. That was one of the side effects. It's all about health and wellness. Virgo is all about releasing what no longer serves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right on my first house too, so.
Which means?
First house is the house of self, public image, health, what you appear to the world, and I've been feeling this one for sure. How have you been feeling?
Same thing. A lot of things have been coming up. All the limiting beliefs that we need to face, basically. That's what I'm feeling this full moon is all about. For me, it's been a lot about the limiting beliefs in terms of finances, in terms of who I am, in terms of where I want to go, in terms of relationships, friendships, what kind of people I want around me, all kinds of stuff, actually. All kinds. But basically, this full moon is falling where exactly?
It's in Virgo, so it depends on what your rising sign is.
So it would be on the 6th house? Or...
It depends. If you're an
No.
Aries, so
I mean,
it depends
just-
on your different rising sign. So if you're an Aries rising,
No, what I mean in general, for like the collective right now.
it's just
Is
in
it?
Virgo. But it depends on what your rising sign is, and then wherever the full moon lands is where the releasing is happening.
Oh, I understood that it was like on the 6th house for the mundane, like the Virgo.
Yeah, it's
Virgo's house.
The Virgo house is the 6th house.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is about releasing, letting go. It's very much about health and how you feel internally. And this one's very powerful because I think it's also coinciding with the fact that Saturn just moved into the sign of Pisces, which is Pisces is all about spirituality, about higher power.
The planet Saturn is also like a destructive kind of
Yeah.
planet as well. Is that one of the reasons why we're feeling it as much?
I would say Saturn is not, I wouldn't classify it as destructive, but it's very much like about lessons, like the hard lessons. Saturn is not an easy planet.
So it gets us in the uncomfort zone, basically.
Yeah.
It gets us uncomfortable in everything that we need to do. Or at least everything that we need to face, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So what would you say that the collective would actually be feeling right now? You said cleansing, you said facing the limiting beliefs. Well, I said that, but that's what I understood, basically.
I think if we're talking about Saturn in Pisces, it's more about getting serious about our spirituality. Because Saturn is about being serious, and it's about responsibility. It's about the hard lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if it goes into Pisces, it's more about getting serious about really focusing on what matters. Because to me, Pisces is a very important archetype. It's about who you actually are. It's like the higher. It's all that is.
It's the Pisces?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do you
because
say that?
Because it encompasses all the signs. It's the very last zodiac sign. So it's like,
So it integrates all the other signs before it?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
How do I add a person? Here?
Invites. On the side, you'll have invite. So for some reason, I don't see it anymore. There we go. Invite. So I'm inviting you, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See if it'll let me do it on my computer.
And then what else? There's also Pluto that's playing a huge role right now, no?
Yeah, Pluto is also moving into the sign of Aquarius on the 23rd. Right now it's at the very tail end of Aquarius, or of Capricorn. So that's going to be on the 23rd though. So by the 23rd of March, there's going to be massive changes. It's going to be a completely different ballgame. I think we're all feeling it. There's like right now there's like the last, because Capricorn's about structure. And if we think about the last 8 years where Pluto has been transiting Capricorn, it's like the destruction of the old systems. And when Pluto enters Aquarius, I feel like it's going to be more about, anything that has to do with Aquarius, which is like the internet, and it's, esoteric stuff, like really outside of the box stuff. But Capricorn's very much like earthly. Aquarius is like things that we can't even conceptualize. So it's going to be it's going to be a crazy couple of years.
You guys were also saying that like on the 21st, there's the new moon within the spring equinox, which is going to be a huge shift as well.
Yeah.
So what are like some of the things that people, besides the sleepless nights or besides like all the uncomfort situations that people might be feeling right now in terms of this full moon?
I think a lot of health stuff is coming up.
Health? What do you mean?
Yeah, because Virgo.
Okay, well then that's fine. If anything, we'll just bring my video down, or we'll just bring the cards up. It doesn't really matter. At this point, the idea is just to get the whole TarotScope and the Horoscope out there, right? The whole idea is for them to understand what's going on right now in this full moon, basically. And so far, yeah, what we, just to sum it up, basically. So it's all about health, it's all about spirituality, it's all about the getting out of the comfort zone, basically, making sure you're getting out of the comfort zone, because that's what's basically going to be accentuated. And is there anything else that we should know?
I think those are the two major things. Pluto going into Aquarius, Saturn going into Pisces, and the full moon right now depends where it lands on your chart. So for me personally, it's in my first house. I'm feeling it on a very personal level. But if it's in the second house, it would be the house of money. So it's a lot of transformation and letting go of limiting beliefs surrounding money. Third house is like lower learning. Fourth house is home. So it really just depends where it lands personally.
But for you, it would be like your identity? Is that what's going on right now?
Yeah. Personally, like how I think it has to do with confidence too. First house is how you present yourself and how you feel in your body. Second, because it's very much like first house is about self and how you feel in your body. Second house is, so for you, I think your Aries rising.
Mine would be fall on the Virgo.
For you, for you it's going to be the 6th.
Just a bit.
Yeah, we can switch over for sure.
Yeah, so that like you're more closer to the planet. It's a very beautiful plant.
It is, yes. I got it as a gift. I see us. Don't mind the technical difficulties. First time on YouTube. We're gonna see. We're just testing the waters right now. So I guess we can just dive into all the horoscopes in that case right away.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically Aries would fall into which house in that case?
So for you it's the 6th house.
It will get to me, but I mean I guess we can go like how we did it last time, right? Where we go through all the signs.
Yeah.
One by one. I remember how we did it last time. I think we started with
the actual, so right now since the full moon is in Virgo, we can start with that.
Yeah.
So for those who have their rising sign as Virgo, it's very much, you're really feeling it on a deep level. It's the first house, again, it's like the house of self, it's a house of how you appear to the world, it's confidence, it's your vitality. So when there's a full moon, it really shines a light on things that you need to let go when it comes to your health and wellness. So if you had a lot of habits that you wanted to break, things that you wanted to get rid of when it comes to eating habits, or if it comes to like any kind of, if you wanted to quit smoking, now's a good time. Like it's just, it's all about
all the bad habits basically that we want to get rid of.
Yeah, when it comes to health, when it comes to your physical being, because Virgo is very much about, especially if you have your first house in Virgo, oh my gosh, I'm feeling it.
Oh,
yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. I haven't been able to.
Your first house is in Virgo?
Yeah.
So let's check it off. Let's do a dance break. 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 Shake off
it off.
Bad juju of the moon. I'll pull a card. I guess we'll do it like last time too. We're gonna pull a card for every time we cross one of the signs. So we'll do it for Virgos. Virgos. But you're not Virgo. You're Virgo?
Virgo rising.
Okay, Virgo rising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, usually when you're doing the different zodiac, you go
with the rising
because you see where the actual moon is in your chart.
Ah, there we go. So it goes basically with the rising goes with the moon. Basically goes with the rising. Why is that again?
Well, you get to see where it lands in your chart
Through the rising.
through the rising.
How so? Why is that?
So it's the rising kind of sets where all the houses land. So if Virgo is your rising, then you know exactly where the moon is. It's in the first.
But then how come mines would fall on the 6th?
Because Aries is the first, and 6th house is the house of Virgo.
Yeah.
That's why. So for you, it's always aligning because basically Aries is the very first sign.
Yeah. So me is always going to be aligning with the exact basically houses.
Yeah. Yeah, for you it's very easy to gauge because you always, like, if you have if there's like say a Libra full moon, it lands in the 7th house of Libra. So yeah.
So basically I always have to see where my Libra is,
Mm-hmm.
or where my sign for that moon is in that particular space. So because you're Virgo rising, that's why we're going to the first house.
Yeah.
Because we're following the actual horoscopes, the signs.
Yeah.
Not the actual houses. Okay, I got mistuck. I thought it was the houses that we were looking at, but no, that was the houses of where the Virgo usually is. But in this case, it's always where the horoscope sign is, depending on the chart.
Yeah.
I see. Well, because you're a Virgo rising, you're gonna be the one picking the cards for the Virgos. Strength card.
Oh.
Of course, and it was reversed. So we have the Strength card over here in reversed. Strength card over here in reversed. This is one of the best cards that you can have, basically, with everything that you're going through. Strength card, especially in reverse, means that you're going to need a lot of perseverance. So this moon is going to affect you in a very deep level, as you were saying, and it's basically to just move forward, to take one step at a time, to take breaks when you can, to feel the emotions. For you guys, it's all about feeling the feels, to not actually avoid anything. It's to really go deep into the emotions and face them for what they are, which is just emotions and languages of the body that are trying to get out of your system. So if you were saying you were struggling with confidence, it's to face that and to really be like, hey, confidence, or lack of that, of there is, what are you trying to teach me? Or how can I love that part of myself that has not found the confidence yet? Because at the end of the day, it's just we're going back to an older version of ourselves that is still in pain, whether it's childhood, teenager, whether it's this adult version that is still processing all the information that's still left to process in this adulthood. It's like, how can we give it compassion? How can we actually look at it with strength and be like, just because you're going through this, just because you're feeling like this, doesn't make you any less worthy than what you are or who you are, or any less worthy of where you're going, any less worthy and deserving of all the desires that you want, all the things that you want to achieve, all the things that you want to do. I mean, the best example that I can get is Louise Hay, who literally just started she only started at age 50 or even almost close to 60 when she actually opened her publishing company through all kinds of trauma that she didn't process until 50 years old, you know what I mean? So for that, like, perseverance, I mean, this is the best card you can have. It's literally the archetype, it's literally a major arcana, which is the pivotal actions that all humanity goes through, the cycles that we all go through. And this is the 8th pivotal archetype that you're basically going through, Virgos, and it's all about not giving up. It's all about continuing, pushing forward, and moving forward. Yeah, that's gonna sound weird, I think, no? Sorry for the technical difficulties. The next time will be a lot smoother. But yeah, this is one of the best cards that you can have, and you can see how she's like on the lion. The lion is calm, right? It's trying to stay amidst this is facing these emotions and coming to a center. And to really have a conversation. For you, is just to have a conversation with all of these emotions, all of these distresses, all of these things that are coming up, and have a conversation and be like, hey, what can we do to get rid of this? Or what can we do to give you more confidence? What can we do to actually process this emotion so it never comes again, so we can just move forward, so we can become the bigger version? Because what I'm sensing in this full moon is all about us becoming the best version of ourselves before this spring comes along. And we can't do that if we're still harboring and we're still carrying all of the gunk and all of these heavy notions on our backs. So, I mean, this is like a potent. I've always said to all my clients, is always the triggers are our best teachers, because they're the things that are showing us what's still alive in our bodies. And if we don't actually process them, we're never going to do it.
Your phone turned off.
Okay, turn it off. Are you able to? So,
I don't know if it's because we're too many on the same network.
I don't know. We're having trouble loading this live. Okay, try again. You might have to request, or I would have to go to you. There we go. Yeah, you would have to request me, I believe.
Because I noticed that when I started the live from my phone, it worked. It didn't ask me to upgrade.
Oh, there you go. Anyways, so from there,
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. It's like these next couple of weeks are really just cleansing periods for the new beginning that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's literally what I felt. And that's what I'm sensing right now. Me, it was all kinds of things that came up, and it was funny because I got pulled over. I got 2 major like big tickets, and all my limiting beliefs of money and lack mentality all came up. And it was so funny because when I got pulled over, I literally drove my car to the side, and the number that I saw was 444. 444. And I'm like, okay, this is something that I need to learn. And then even talking with the officer, it was just like nothing was coming out. Nothing. So all of my limiting beliefs of communications came out. And the next day I got another huge ticket for, anyways, I don't even want to get into it. And it was just like, okay, something's up here, and there's something that I need to look into. And I only realized that it was a full moon, yesterday? No, not yesterday. I realized it on Saturday. I realized it on Friday, actually. I'm like, okay, the full moon is up. That's when I messaged you in panic. And I'm like, what is going on here? But we'll get to Scorpios. Yeah, let's continue. Libra. Next is Libra.
Yeah, so Libra, moon in the 12th. Moon in the 12th, that's very subconscious.
Is Mercury in retrograde?
No, but I was told that, who was it? Somebody I was following said that it feels like a retrograde, even if it's not in retrograde.
No, because right now, it's...
I think it's a Saturn with Pluto.
Yeah.
That's like acting everything up, where everything feels like
yeah,
everything's in retrograde right now.
Forget Mercury right now. We have Pluto, like the big planets. Exactly. Saturn and Pluto doing crazy stuff.
And for those who don't know, Saturn is one of the big misfits. That's the way I see it. It likes to poke the bear. It likes to get you out of your comfort zone. Saturn is all about...
very much needed.
Yeah. It's the only way of creating new realities, shifting, right, paradigms, or else we'll be stuck in a place that we might not really want to be in anymore, right? So it's all about chaos. You cannot have light without chaos. You need both. It's one within the same coin, right?
Okay. Yeah, this is trining Uranus. This makes a lot of sense. So the full moon right now is trining Uranus, so everything is accentuated.
Oh, plus.
Unexpected. This is all about unexpected stuff. It's things that we will never ever expect coming up to the surface. So you can never predict anything with this energy. Because Uranus is very, very electric, but it's also very unpredictable.
So if you're feeling like crap, it's okay. It's part of the process. Don't think about it too much. You don't need to know. Remember what I always say, you don't need to know. It's I don't remember what else I say. There's a couple of things that I usually say. The first one is that you don't need to know. If you're feeling, just feel the feels, and everything will make sense eventually when it's supposed to make sense. Right now, it's not supposed to make sense.
And it's okay. You just look at it and you say, okay, what kind of strength can I derive from this experience?
Yeah, strength, especially for you, strength. That was your card. Strength, lessons, and how could you have fun with it? That's one thing I want to add. How could you just have fun with the disaster and the chaos, right? We're living in a simulation. We're literally living in a game, in a video game where anything could happen, anything and everything can and probably will happen, especially now with everything coming up to the surface, with everybody realizing their power and actually embracing their power and really realizing that they are the creators of their reality. Like, that's what we're figuring out. That's what we're realizing, is that we are the creators of our reality, and taking responsibility is not always comfortable, right? It's not always comfortable taking responsibilities of our own energy and how we think, how we feel, what kind of like information we're broadcasting that is creating the reality that we are, right? Are you gossiping? Are you talking about the stuff that you don't want more than the stuff that you do want? And are you having fun? To me, it's like that's been a big, big thing. Like, how can I incorporate more fun?
Yeah.
How could I have more fun with this?
In every moment, just deciding, okay, what do I feel like doing now? What would bring me most joy now?
Yeah. Or how can I laugh about it? Means that, like, how can I laugh about this right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was watching a TV show, I'd probably be like, oh my God, and then laugh. But You know, so when it's personal, it's harder, and that's the thing. Don't take anything personal. That was another thing. Don't take anything, especially now, from what I understand, don't take anything personal.
Yeah.
Anything. This is just a video game. This is just a simulation. This is just this reality testing you to see, well, are you just gonna be in your suffering, or are you gonna actually create the fun in it all, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
But yes.
So for Libra, it's very much into the subconscious of the 12th house. So it might not be as overt for you Libra risings. It's more like subconscious. 12th house is all about, it's the Pisces house. So it's very much about deep-rooted, subconscious limiting beliefs that you don't really know about that might come up to the surface.
For Libras?
For Libras,
because it's in the 12th house?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. For Libra risings.
So you might be in the in-between worlds too, because Libras is all about going in and out of like the reality 3D and 5D too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you might be feeling psychic and then getting scared of the psychic abilities. That's the way I see it also.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add?
I just want to say hello to, thank you. I want to say hello to some of our viewers. We have two people watching. So hello.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you for your patience.
We finally set up.
Something we'll do prior in a more effective way. But yes, in regards to the horoscope, is there anything else you wanted to add?
We're on Libra rising.
Yeah.
12th house.
12th
Your
house.
subconsciousness, your spirituality. I don't know if you've mentioned it. I've been a
little
bit.
It's okay.
I've been troubleshooting.
It's all good.
So yeah, definitely do the internal work that you've been putting away. If you need to meditate, do some meditation. Try to visit a temple. Actually, that's one of the biggest things that you can do. Like,
that's smart.
Yeah, or any, not necessarily a temple, but like any place where you feel at peace. Like if you have a favorite tree somewhere, go sit down next to your favorite tree with your favorite book and just,
I love that.
you know, take it all in. It's all the gunk that we subconsciously kind of like try to stuff away. Yeah, and be careful for hidden enemies as well, because 12th house is hidden. You know, it's a lot of the times it's our own, like we are our own.
Self-sabotaging?
Yeah, self-sabotage.
I was just about to say, isn't it also like addictions? Just to be aware of certain addictions that you have. They might come to the surface. You might feel like you want to give in to certain addictions at this moment, and it's just a test. Try to overcome the test, I guess. Libra, who's gonna pick Libra? Here you go.
There's no sound. There is no sound.
I almost feel like we should switch my camera around. It'd probably be better. Camera. Instead of
I think the sound is on now. All right.
Let us
on the Instagram. On YouTube it's fine, but on Instagram I had to mute so that there's no feedback.
Okay.
Because we have two phones.
Yeah.
So I think the sound should be back on.
Perfect. Okay, well Libra, we're gonna pick a card for you. You gonna do it? Or did you want here, you just go for it. She's like digging right into it. I love it. She's like, I got this, Libra. Oh my god, 10? Oh wow.
10 of
swords? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
So 10, oh yeah, we see over there. 10 of swords. So 10 of swords, Libra. Hopefully you can see it. 10 of swords. This is actually great. I know it looks scary, and usually 10 of swords is not the most favorite card to have. But I don't want to just get this over here. But it's basically, you know, the original one, you have 10 daggers on the back of this one person, right? It's like the ending of a cycle. So you're coming to the end of the cycle, but it's going to be gruesome. It's going to feel like crap. And it's just a question of like realizing, you know what? Nothing lasts forever. Nothing stays stagnant, right? You're heading into a new cycle in your period of life. And it's just a question of facing all of the heartaches and the hardships, and again, having compassion for yourself. Like that's what I'm feeling over here, is you just having compassion. Are you able to look at all the hardships? Are you able to look at yourself and be like, you know what? All this crap happened. I might have, screwed up. Other people might have screwed up, but That doesn't make me any less worthy. That doesn't make me any less deserving of the stuff that I want. Doesn't matter how old I am. Doesn't matter where I've reached in my life. There's still so much ahead of me. There's still so much potential, and it's just tapping into that potential, right? But before you can actually do that, you need to let go of the daggers that have been stabbed, whether it's by you or by others. That's what I'm getting for you guys, Pisces. And not Pisces, Libras. You guys want to add anything?
Yeah, so it's the 12th house of Pisces. So
yeah,
a lot of deep-rooted. This card makes sense. It's really just like letting go of subconscious. They say 95% of what we do is subconscious. Yeah. So
yes.
Pay attention to any dreams or any nightmares that you've been having. Because in the traditional tarot, the Ten of Swords is waking up in the middle of the night with like nightmares. And was it this and that?
9, yeah. But if you're thinking about that one, it's probably going to resonate with some people.
Maybe.
Yeah, the 10 is usually you have 10 swords stabbing one person on the back, and they're like on the ground.
Secret enemies. Makes sense.
Yeah. And you were saying too, right? It's like the 12th house is an accumulation of all the other signs too. So it's literally that letting go part. So it's like the 10th house and the 12th house, which is the ending of another cycle to enter in a new cycle, technically.
Yeah.
You guys are probably feeling like crap. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with you.
It's fine. Just remember, people actually pay to go on roller coaster rides, so everything's fine.
There you go.
Don't worry about it.
We literally decided to come into this world,
There's always ups, there's always downs. Everything's fine, okay? We're good.
I love that. Next, who's next?
Scorpio.
Ooh.
Scorpio risings. This lands in your 11th house.
Okay.
Time to party.
Really? How so?
11th house is networking. So it's all about the connections that you're making, the people that you're talking to or not talking to. So if there's a certain group of people that you shouldn't be boundaries.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, I would say like reassessing your network, reassessing the people that are around you. Are the connections bringing you positivity or are they draining you? Are you spending too much time out there instead of with yourself, or do you need to spend more time because you've been cooped up? So it's just reassessing basically all of your social interactions, your outward world.
Interesting. So do you need to go out or do you need to stay in? What is it, Scorpios? And here we go. Kara's busy. She's here. I love it. She's like, oh, most of you need to be going out, partying. The Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is all about, again, connection, celebrating. Traditionally, this usually represents a celebration of achievements or wedding. As you can see, it's for people coming together. Maybe you're joining new networks like meditation groups, women's circles, men's circles, maybe just circles in general where you can actually connect with other people. But it's all in good vibes and in a way where you feel uplifted, you feel like you're being recharged instead of depleted. And again, I feel for some of you, maybe just cool it on the drinking or any kind of drugs, just because, partying like that, we tend to go a little excessive. So this might not resonate with all of you, might resonate with just with a few. But yeah, if you guys want to add anything else to that?
Yeah, 11th house, full moon is a lot. I think this one is pretty fun. It's a fun one. Get inspired. Scorpio risings, this is going to be I think you guys will have it a little bit less intense. It's all about having a good time with the people around you and connecting with the people that inspire you, people that you resonate with, and maybe letting go of any kind of connections that, if you felt like, there's a lot of...
If they're depleting you.
Yeah, if they're depleting you, maybe now's not a good time,
They're making you feel like crap. You probably don't want to be with them.
Yeah. For now. We don't say like
absolutely,
forever, but like for now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nothing's a permanent state. Everything, the number one thing that's constant is change itself. So, but if you feel like, you know, just go after what your heart tells you.
It's all about fun. Are you having fun with these people? Are they bringing you joy? Are they bringing you peace? You know, I feel like a big part of all this, especially where we're going, is more peace, more serenity, more centeredness, alignment. And I feel like certain foundations are crumbling for some of you, but not in a bad way, in a good way, because that means new ones are going to be up. New ones are going to be built, stronger foundations. And I say that because you have this over here that's crumbling. Over here you have like these little pieces over here crumbling. But yeah, who's next?
Sagittarius, 10th house of career. Ooh.
Is everything okay?
They're hearing reverb on the Instagram. So I'm trying to, because the thing is, there's no way for me to completely turn down the sound on both phones. I can mute one of the microphones, but then the other phone is still picking up the sound from the phone.
Even if you mute it?
If I mute, well, because then I have to, if I mute both, then there's no sound at all.
But if you mute just one, you're thinking it's because of the computers?
Well, it's because even if you bring the volume on your phone down completely, it doesn't, you can still hear like, basically this, you can hear this camera in my phone. Even if this microphone is muted, I can hear this video in my phone, you know? Because Instagram Live is meant for you to go live when you're like in different rooms.
Yeah. But if we mute this one, we'll have the same problem? Because as long as we can hear ourselves on this camera, it doesn't really matter if that one you hear it or not. That's just for the video, right?
It's not the camera. It's not the microphone that's getting picked up.
What's getting?
It's the audio from this live.
Okay. So the audio from my phone is getting picked up there. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
But even if I bring the volume down, you can still kind of hear it.
You can still kind of hear that audio?
Yeah.
And there's no way of just muting that one, is there?
No, exactly. So like for some reason
because I have like a camera here. So if I do that, is it better?
What did you do?
I muted. There was like a
yeah. So now there's gonna be no sound at all.
On either or.
Yeah. So if I turn, let's say if I turn my microphone on my camera, now you'll be able to hear me. See, like there's still sound coming from the actual video.
Yeah.
Right? You can hear me even though the microphone is muted.
But as long as we hear just on one camera, on one phone.
No, because right now there's sound coming from here. So this phone is still picking up the.
So if I'm just muting this one, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, because right now, like the microphone on this one is working, right? And the microphone on this one is picking up the sound that's coming from your phone.
So we just have to go on the settings in that case for this one. I would need to go on the settings and then stop it from there.
Well, we've always had this problem with Instagram, but usually we're like outside, so the sound is not getting picked up.
Mic mode standard.
It's the first time we're doing it.
So voice isolation, wide spectrum. If I change this, would anything change?
Yeah, maybe voice isolation.
Okay, we can try it like that and see what happens. Should I unmute it?
And I'll try to mute the other one.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if we're still gonna be able to hear us. I don't know if
One way to find out.
yeah, I can still hear. So hopefully your microphone is not gonna be picking up my speaker. Cause I can't, there's no way for me to fully turn my speaker down.
We'll find out, I guess. If someone could just let us know. Until then, we are now at Sag.
Sag, 10th house.
10th house.
What's happening? Your 10th house of career.
Meaning?
So, whatever doesn't serve you in the career space, say if you have a job that you're not really resonating with, maybe now it might be a choice of maybe looking elsewhere. 10th house is really just like the public sphere too, so how you appear to the public. If you have like a YouTube channel or if you're on Instagram, 10th house is really, it's an angle house, so it's an important house. You might be feeling it when it comes to your actual job, like in your work area.
So like triggers would occur?
Yeah.
Basically triggers, or maybe the jobs might throw a curveball, something like that.
Yeah, it might be like an unexpected release of something that's going on in your career sphere, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like a bad thing. It's just
like
something that no
like
longer.
a raise?
Yeah, it could be like a complete revamp. You could be offered a new position. You could be offered like a, it's a releasing of what no longer serves in the career job sphere.
Interesting. So let's see.
Ooh, the Tower.
In reverse too, so you're probably avoiding something. So or you're avoiding maybe to quit the job or to try a new position. Maybe you've been offered a new position and you're just reluctant because that means you would have to learn new skills. You would have to do something. Maybe you have to get out of your comfort zone. Maybe you have to remove certain masks at this point because you're fed up of people. You're fed up of not being yourself around people. So that could be a possibility too, where it's just like you're done with the show. You just want to be yourself. And sometimes in the work sphere or with that kind of work environment, you feel like you have to be professional, but it's kind of just keeping you in this little claustrophobic environment where, you have to let things and shit hit the fan and just crumble so you can create a better foundation, whether it is at work or a new, not necessarily perspective, but recreating yourself, a more authentic self, basically. That's what I'm seeing over here.
Yeah, the Tower is often, a lot of things will come to fruition that you've been avoiding. Sometimes, even if it's not something that you expected, but it's something that you might need on your path, like getting fired, for example. Like the Tower is something that you've been avoiding it, you've been thinking of switching jobs, you don't necessarily want to take the step to do it, and you actually end up getting fired. A lot of times the Tower is often,
push.
Yeah, exactly, it's a push to do what you've been putting off.
Yeah. The universe is going to push you even when you don't want to be pushed. So might as well just take action. You might be heading towards there. You might know that you have to take an action, and you might know that if you don't do something, you might get pushed. So this is in reverse, so you're avoiding it. Might as well just do it because it's going to be very uncomfortable if you end up getting pushed. So what are you waiting for? Basically. Who's next?
Let's see. Aquarius. Oh no, where are we?
Yeah, Aquarius rising here.
Yeah. Capricorn.
Oh, Capricorn.
9th house of travel. 9th house of higher learning. So you might want to start, if you're in school, if you're studying, or if you're traveling, it might be kind of like a complete revamp of what you're studying, what courses you're taking. You might want to have like an unexpected trip somewhere, just like out of the blue, just decide. I did that a couple of months ago, just like went online and just bought a ticket.
Amazing. And who knows, maybe we're gonna go to the end of the month too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep. I am a Capricorn, so it might happen.
It might happen. It might happen. Anything else you want to add?
Well, for quite a few people who are in school, I know that finals are going to be coming up soon. So, usually around April, May, they're going to start having finals. So definitely, if you do the work now, then you won't be rushing towards the end of your semester. So if there's anything that you're not quite sure of, and as well, like teachers are usually very busy during the final stage. So if you start working with your teacher now on things that you don't understand, then you won't be like one of the hundreds of people asking the teacher to help at last minute. So definitely Capricorn, put in the work early so that you don't have to stress.
How does that relate to like the 9th house?
The 9th house is higher learning.
Oh.
Yeah, the 9th house is higher learning, so usually
in addition to travel.
Yeah, it's the Jupiter house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's philosophy. And anything that's like university level education.
9th house is a good house. I love that house. It's a very optimistic Jupiterian house. Ooh.
6 of emotions. Oh, very interesting.
Is that 6 of wands?
No, it's 6 of cups, which is usually nostalgia. Some of you might actually be feeling intense nostalgia in a sense of like, oh, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That's the vibe that I'm getting over here. Shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Especially if it's in regards to missed opportunity, if it's in regards to something that you wish you would have took, classes. The idea, especially when it's reversed, you just don't want to get stuck in that nostalgic state. It's good to go and refer to your past, but it's not necessarily the best thing to do to stay stuck and stagnant in those memories and not allowing them to process, right? You just creating this vicious cycle of shoulda, woulda, couldas, and then in that case you get stuck in the past. You're right. You never want to be stuck in the past or ahead in the future. You always want to be in that present moment because that's where the magic happens. That's where life happens. That's where the opportunities are. So if you're stuck in the past and you won't see the opportunities ahead of you, you might not see the places that you need to go or the teachers that you need to see, or it could be also internal too, right? You might be looking outside of yourself instead of going within and then releasing all of these stagnant energies, or just once again it's all about facing the triggers, facing the emotions, just to allow them to be released from the body, right? So you might be also avoiding looking into these emotions that are triggered by past memories as well. So yeah,
I'm feeling like somebody is reminiscing about previous trips that they might have taken, or reminiscing about previous experiences that they've had, and getting stuck, like you said, on those memories where you're not actually making space to have new experiences.
Yeah. You're not living the moment. You're not living life anymore. You're just repeating the memories from the past, which really just takes away so much from the magic that is this life, right?
The present, yeah.
All we have is the present moment. If you can stay in the present as much as possible, that's when, stuff happens. That's when your desires create these opportunities for you. But if you're reminiscing on that old trip that you took, then you're no longer present to see doors opening or closing, or so it's all about learning, right? Getting all the gunk up. So yeah, Capricorn.
Aquarius, 8th house. Ooh, guys, Aquarius.
I need to do my taxes.
Aquarius.
Because the 8th house, as I like to call it, is sex, death, and taxes.
Yeah.
Really?
It's the Pluto house.
Why taxes?
Tax season. Well, I mean, everybody needs to do their taxes, but especially Aquarius, because Aquarius is always like up in the clouds, their head in the sky. Nothing phases me. And then come tax season, you're like, oh, I
have to do this.
I'm a human. I need to.
Some things you cannot escape, you know?
Yeah.
You can't escape taxes. You can't. You just can't. Yeah, it's also the house of sex, depth, like deep-rooted emotions. I love the Scorpio house. And money, other people's money, too.
Other people's money?
Yeah. 8th house is other people's money.
There's a balancing act that needs to be done, for sure, for Aquariuses. But you're not Aquarius rising. What's your rising?
Leo.
I don't remember.
Leo?
Yeah, I'm going to probably ask these questions often when it comes to horoscopes and all that, because it's not my forte for now. But yeah, go ahead.
Let's see.
Ah!
Some voices.
Talking about death and rebirth and all that. This is the 7 of Swords, which is all about, and it's in reverse too. We're all getting them in reverse. It's all about self-sabotage and maybe just watching out for anybody that might be jealous or have it in for you. It's really like it's the trickster. As you can see, there's 2 faces. You have like this calm, serene one, and then on the other one you have like this kind of like scary face happening over here. And the one that came out was the 2 of Pentacles, which is all about the balancing act. So I almost feel like it's good to go into your depth, but remember to come out of it, come back into this 3D reality. It's good to go deep and dive and uncover and heal. And you know, I feel like the Scorpio house is all about death and rebirth, but it's really about, you know, going into your suffering. It's good to face your suffering so you can actually release it, but at a certain point you need to come out of it. That too, you can just create a vicious circle of just staying in that suffering and not moving forward anymore, because now it's just like you're back into that victim state as well, right? You don't want to get caught up in that victim state. You want to get out. And it's easy to get deep into like, why me, why this, why that, and going into those big questions of universes and all that. But at a certain point, you need to, you know, crawl your way out of there and realize, well, you cannot have darkness without light. There is light despite everything that's going on. And to find that balance, like she was saying, like, you know, you can go up in the sky and you can go deep into everything, but then you have to realize that you're still living a human experience and there's still stuff for you to accomplish so you can move forward into this avatar that is human nature. Like, you need to feed your baby if you have a baby, you know what I mean? You don't want your baby to die, you know, things like that. You know, little stuff, you know, little wins of the day. Where yes, you can dive in deep but come out. And I feel like some of you, for anybody who's been dealing with addiction too, I don't know why that's coming up, but addiction, maybe it's time to actually seek help or to just face these possibilities that you might be addicted so you can actually come out of it. Right? The 7 of Swords is all about self-sabotage, numbing yourself also, in the sense of, again, that victim state. I'm the victim, so I'm going to take these drugs because I'm the victim, you know. And the idea is that, no, you're a powerful motherfucking being, and it's just to recognize that. but you can't recognize that if you're stuck in this stagnant energy of shame, guilt, and victimhood. Yeah, so it's to find that balance between light and darkness, and find that balance between 5D and again 3D, which could be boring sometimes, but you know, you don't want your baby to die.
With the Two of Pentacles, I'm getting, for some reason, like, listen to your own values. So sometimes, like, we're not constantly thinking of what we want to actually, how can I put this? We're not true to ourselves, basically. So we tend to go sideways. We switch whatever we want on a whim, but we're not always staying true to ourselves.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with the Seven of Swords too, this whole self-sabotage. If you don't know where you're going, then you're going to end up where somebody else is going to take you, right? So you might just be following the crowd, and then you'll be like, oh, how did I end up here? Well, it's because you didn't actually tap into what you wanted and what your values were.
Yeah.
So it's easy to just get caught up in the current and just end up somewhere where you don't want to be, really, or you realize that you don't want to be. So that makes a lot of sense, in the sense of, like, you know, what do you want? What do you want, and like, how are you willing to get it? Are you willing to do it by stabbing people in the back, right? Or are you willing to do it in a way that you feel joy, fun, and proud of doing it too, which comes back to the Seven of Swords, right? You don't want to, you know, create more crap in the world just because you want to achieve that, what's it called, that raise, right? You don't want to get people fired just because you want to step up the ladder. Or maybe you do, but again, find that balance about your values versus, you know, your wants and desires. So yeah, that makes
and
sense.
Aquarius says right now, maybe this is a preparation for Pluto that's about to enter your sign. So it's very interesting that this is happening in the Pluto house, and on the 23rd, Pluto enters your sign. So you guys are going to have, it's going to be a lot of transformation, positive transfer. We need Pluto. Pluto's amazing because it goes through and kind of releases what no longer serves, whether you like it or not, and then you come out of it completely. Yeah, I just went through Pluto on my Mars, so I know all about this. I know about Pluto.
Please, go on. I'm sure they all want to hear it.
Yeah, it's... So yeah, I think this is, for Aquarius, this might be like the beginning of kind of setting the pace for the next 3 years. Pluto has an 8-year cycle. Yeah, it's gonna be long and necessary revamping.
As long as you stay true to your values, that's really what I'm getting. Is like, stay true to yourself. Don't try to shove yourself into a box that is not your shape. Don't get too carried away with excitement that you know is not bringing you to your true happiness.
Stay true to your values, because God knows where that could take you. Who's next?
Pisces, 7th house of relationships, marriage, partnerships. This doesn't necessarily just have to be exclusive to partnerships, like romantic ones. It could also mean like business partnerships. It could mean, friendships. Yeah. So Pisces rising, this is very, I would say this is an important one for you because Virgo is kind of opposite of your sign. So you might be feeling this a little bit more because it's an angular house.
What does that have
So
to
the
do?
full moon house.
So Virgo is directly opposing Pisces. Yeah, so Pisces, when you have Pisces as your first house, that means that right now the sun is like on top of your identity.
Okay.
So you might be having like a, we're in Pisces season, right? So it's Pisces season. A lot of people, during their birthday, they get their hair done, they go on vacation, they do all these glamorous things. but the full moon is like shining a light on you where, you know, you might need to focus more on specific relationships so that you are setting yourself up for success, basically. Not just like, I know it's hard not to do that when it's your birthday, because happy birthday, Pisces. But
Happy birthday.
because the full moon is like highlighting the relationship house, just make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who truly are there for your own benefit, and not just hopping on the bandwagon because it's the cool thing to do.
Especially with Pisces, they can get carried away with like peer pressure, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Especially.
And not necessarily peer pressure, but just like, oh, something cool is happening. Like, it's the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Like I want to be part of the next best thing, but like,
You had this again?
Yeah. So
What?
the 10 of Swords is your card as well.
Oh my goodness.
Pisces.
yeah, listen to your nightmares.
So
If
you
you've
might
been-
be,
If you've been having any nightmares or any bad dreams, then maybe they're about something. Yeah.
Absolutely, you might have your psychic powers, like you might be a little more sensitive right now. That's what I'm getting with this card. You might be a little more sensitive. You might be picking up a lot of things that are probably not even yours. You might be handling, you might actually be catering to a lot of control damage with certain relationships as well, which might take a toll on you. So if you have family members or friendships that are kind of like in a ruckus and space right now, you might be the one that's trying to pace everything together. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to let shit hit the fan. You just have to let people go through these chaotic moments, because you might just be prolonging the inevitable, but also preventing them from learning what they need to learn with these specific situations in these relationships. Or maybe it's you, maybe you're not allowing, maybe you're trying to people please at the moment in terms of trying to hold on to people that, you know, are not meant to be in your sacred space at this place and time. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to see them again. It's just, you need to let them crumble. You need to let them, you might have to also admit that, you know, your boundaries are being pushed and that you're being stabbed in the back by friends, and just admitting, you know what, these are not the right people for me. And not resisting, right? Not resisting the fact that not everybody's meant to be, and not everybody, you know, everybody's going through their own stuff. So even if you don't understand it, if you don't know why they're the specific way they are with you, even if it's damaging and hurtful, is just to allow it and to be released by letting it go and being like, okay, well, we're not meant for each other right now. That's what I'm sensing over here.
Who else? We got this for Libra.
Yeah.
Watch out for any Libras. And vice versa. So Libras, watch out for Pisces. I don't know if there's any Libra Pisces beef going on.
I love that. There you go.
Yeah,
Libra.
Saturn is also entering your sign, or has entered your sign. So,
Yeah.
a lot of kind of,
Definitely restriction. You might
Yeah.
need to restrict yourself. That's what I was getting with like the whole Virgo full moon, like highlighting Pisces.
yeah,
Virgo full moon, Saturn entering in your sign. There's a lot of earthy energy, like save your money. Yeah, I know it's your birthday, amazing, but just, you know, if you
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
hold on. And
Who else we have next?
let's see. Aries, this is yours.
My
yeah, you're
rising?
rising.
Yes,
rising.
you already told me a little bit, but let's
Yeah, 6th house. So it's the Virgo house.
let's dive into there. Which is what, basically?
Health, wellness. Virgo is all about, it's also about service and daily day-to-day activities. Virgo is also pets.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Are you planning on getting a pet for your new apartment?
No, but I was taking care of a fish for the
Oh.
last week. Funny enough, my niece's fish, which was a whole character in itself. It was quite funny, actually. Yeah, but it's funny that, I have to take care of that now. So what would that mean in the scale of this full moon? in terms of, well, health is just to be mindful of what I'm eating and doing. I have been noticing that I've been a little more like sugar cravings. Like I've been wanting to eat more sugar and just almost numb myself a little bit with food. But I always get that around the full moon too. Okay, heartaches. 3 of Swords for Aries rising. And but what else would that conjure up? I know I have a lot of squaring happening, so a lot of what you were telling me were making sense. But what else would these people need to know?
The 6th house is day-to-day mundane routines. This full moon might shed a light on maybe changing up some habits that you kind of are used to, years and years and years of doing the same thing. You might actually want to switch that up.
Okay.
Like moderate yourself.
Yeah. Like even just as small as something as when you wake up in the morning, like just a simple, 6th house is very simple. It's like the simple day-to-day mundane tasks.
That's going to get you to where you want to go,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to do that now? Let's switch it up over here. Sun.
The sun.
Sun.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
Even reverse, usually it's a good omen. So the one that flipped out was the 3 of Swords, this one over here, and then you have the Sun card, 3 of Swords over here, and then the Sun, and then 3 of Swords, and then the Sun card over here. Well, if we're talking about the mundane and we're talking about habits, there might be habits that I almost feel like it's habits where
I'm getting morning routine for some reason.
Yeah, me
like
too.
just
That's
make
my
sure like what do you do when the first thing that you get up in the morning? One of the best things to do actually is like to get into like your subconsciousness is to write your dreams. So like because usually we'll forget our dreams after maybe 5 minutes opening your eyes. Mm-hmm. So if you start you wake up, as soon as you wake up you start journaling, even if it doesn't make sense, just like try remembering everything that you had a dream about. That's definitely like a good way to start your morning. It just mellow, instead of a lot of people, what they'll do, the first thing they'll do is they'll pick up their phone. Mm-hmm. They wake up, they pick up their phone. You're not being mindful of like actually what's happening in the morning. Because
or
the sun
feelings or the limiting beliefs that are coming up, because that's when you're going to see if the old version is trying to take over versus the new version, right? We always have 2 versions of ourselves. The older version is going to come in, that's the doubts, that's the fears, that's the the problems that you need to face, versus the creator's version, which is like the higher self, where it's like, you have all these things, but you have a plethora of possibilities that you can actually tap into if you just tapped into at that very moment, right, to already shift. But I was also getting, when you're feeling like, I don't want to say numbing yourself, but if we're going back to the mundane, if we're going back to the routines, there might be routines that keep you safe, that you feel like you're being safe, in that sense of like, I'm going to eat a whole box or a whole bag of chips because when I do that, I feel safe in whatever's happening in the outside world. So if something happens with work, or if I get hit with like, what's it called? I get emotionally charged and triggered. Well, you're gonna go to these things that once served you once upon a time when you were maybe a child. It was like a survival skill where you would eat too much or eat the wrong things, or let's say binge watch a TV show or whatever that may be. I feel like it's an old survival that is no longer serving you. So maybe if you were someone who emotionally ate, well, now you're seeing that it's taking a toll on your body. So I really feel like, especially with the 3 of Swords, I feel like it's you releasing all of these emotional survival skills that you picked up, and you're now just breaking free from them. And I feel like you're already doing it because you have the Sun card. You might feel like you're not doing it since it was in reverse. It came out in reverse. I feel like you might believe that it's not happening and whatever you're doing is not working, but the sun card is to me was like a sure thing. Like whatever you're doing right now to switch these habits, it is working, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if you feel like you're still attached to them. But the fact that you're not doing it, and the fact that you are thinking ahead and you're saying, I'm not going to do this, and taking actions, you are moving forward, even if your emotional body doesn't feel like it's moving forward just yet. It's just your body getting rid of the addictions of those emotions, right? The addictions of those survival triggers. So just keep doing what you're doing. And for all those that don't know how to do it, now it might be a good time to look into, what am I doing out of safety, out of what makes me feel safe.
Yeah, like if your morning routine is drinking 3 cups of coffee and you don't even turn on your blinds, and then you just go straight into work or something, like that's not a good morning routine, right? Even though you're used to it and it makes you actually be productive in a way in the morning, you might need to review what these routines are that are actually toxic for you.
Yeah.
Especially because the sun came out, I'm getting like the most important thing that you can do in the morning is getting at least like 10-15 minutes of direct sunlight, like not through a window, but actually like opening your window, sticking your face out the window, like go on your balcony if you don't want to go for a walk. But those 10-15 minutes in the morning of sunlight are crucial, especially now, like
especially in the moment you wake up too. That's the thing. The moment you wake up, it's what actually wakes you up, technically speaking.
Yeah. A breath of fresh air is going to be better than a bunch of coffees that you're drinking.
Yeah, it's going to wake you up more, actually.
Yeah.
If you really go.
Yeah, what I get with this is it's always dark before the dawn, right? So always remember that too. And another thing that, it doesn't really have to be a long thing. It just be like a 2-minute intentional cup of water. Like you just hold it and you just visualize it being just like life-giving and full of love, and just like visualize light. It could just be something small like that, and just drinking that in the morning. It's like a little change in the routine. Goes a long way.
A little mindfulness,
like,
basically.
Like step by step. Because 6th house is very much like step by step. It's not these grandiose things. It's like little changes and tweaks.
Incremental changes,
that make huge differences down the road. But yeah.
Yes.
Or if there's a doctor's appointment that you've been putting off. Or like if you're feeling depressed, getting a pet is like one of the best things.
Yeah, it's true. That's very, very true, especially in the house of pets too, right? Don't give up. That's all I have to add to this. Do not give up. Keep moving forward. It will get better. It might not feel like it's getting better, but it will. That I could attest to.
Next one is Taurus.
5th house of children.
Taurus rising. Taurus moon.
Yeah, 5th house of I like this house.
It's
like
art.
This house.
Yeah.
It's the Leo house. It's the sun. It's like vitality, what you love to do. It's also creativity, children. Did I mention children? Babies.
It could be your inner child.
Yes.
Yeah. Going back to those memories in this case is a good thing. It's not dwelling on them, but actually going back to the good memories of you as a kid. Like, what did you not fulfill? Did
you enjoy? It gives you back to, it brings you back to center, right? This whole inner child, it makes you come back to who you really are, because we're here to play. We're here to go through chaos, but we're also here to play and to create. And creation, the best creations are always through fun. Even the best learning is always through fun. So,
and excitement, like what brings you excitement? Maybe letting go. Full moon in this house might be letting go of limiting beliefs when it comes to, things that hold you back from actually pursuing your excitement and pursuing your passions. It's like don't listen to outside voices that say you should do this, you should do that, you should just follow your bliss and just do what you love on a day-to-day basis.
Get out those art supplies.
Yes.
Get your hands dirty.
Sing a little bit, dance a little bit. I've been following your dance routines every day. They always inspire me.
Dance break. You take a dance break, you know? Just random like this on a live. You just
just like no rhyme or reason.
Break it out.
Just do what you love to do.
Stretch your spine. That's one of the things. I know a lot of people work from home. A lot of like with this pandemic, we've transitioned to like an even more nomadic lifestyle. So just getting up and doing stretches. Like cats sleep 20 hours a day, and all they do is stretch to stay nimble. So.
That's so true. So you got the Emperor in reverse, which is perfect, I would say, for you guys, because the Emperor is all about structure, is all about, you know, creating your empire. But in reverse, what I'm feeling for you is to let all of that go, to basically be silly, like basically take your paper and just throw it up in the air and just pick it up later, right? Just to enjoy the little things, to go out, to play, to not think about work right now, to enjoy yourself, maybe with your children's also, act like a kid with them, or just go do the things that make you feel like a child, whether it's dancing or snowboarding or any kind of sports, right?
Go to the movies.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody goes to the movies anymore.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. Getting that popcorn,
Yeah.
the buttery fake popcorn that is so delicious, and you just want to like fill up every time. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, this is a really fun house.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a fun month for you guys.
At least until the new moon.
Yeah.
What's next?
Gemini.
Gemini, 4th house of home.
And family, ancestors. If you want to reconnect to some of your ancestors, family members that have passed away, light up a candle for them.
And what kind of things would be coming up, like in terms of shadow work? For
Your home space, but it's not just the physical home space, it's like the inner world. I know all about the 4th house because I have a stellium there. It's like really just a internalized like feeling at home with yourself is a huge theme. So it's not just your home space, but
it's like your body.
Your body.
Home that's
Yeah.
carrying you every single day, basically.
Yeah, the 4th house is it's the Cancer house. It's like what really
feels like home.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you might be living in an apartment, but you actually feel more at home when you go back to your parents' place.
Yeah.
Or maybe you feel more at home when you go to like your family chalet or something like that. So it's just the actual like your roots. Where are your roots? Maybe you don't feel at home anywhere. Like you haven't actually properly grounded yourself
somewhere.
Yeah, it's very much about safety, like feeling safe too. Like
oh, interesting.
Yeah, for me when I think of Cancer, it's like really when you think of a crab, it's like the shell. You know, it's like the outer shell, but really like internally, a lot of what we need to nurture ourselves too.
2 cards.
Which is
Pentacles is this one?
Yeah.
Right.
the mundane, the 4 of Cups, which is
Ooh,
all about...
I like this.
Oh,
a magician.
Oh, yeah, transform your home. If you're moving, you know.
Whatever, if you're going through boredom right now, if you feel like you're bored and whatnot, it's just a question of shifting, like you were saying, just entering a new, changing, switching up, being the creator of your reality. So in the sense of like, if you feel more at home when you have, let's say, palm trees, add some pictures of palm trees, right?
Or go to IKEA.
Literally.
They always have trees for sale.
Yeah.
You guys also had, or have Uranus transiting. Oh no, you had Mars transiting your house or your sign. So
maybe there was like a lot of action and now it's time to nest.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you've had like a hectic winter, and spring is right on the step, so time to calm down a little bit. Don't worry, winter is over.
Yeah.
Interesting. And this over here, the 10 of Pentacles, is always about taking a moment and really looking at everything you've achieved, right? Everything that you have created for yourself, being grateful for these things, even if, you know, you're in a period of mundane, if you're in a period of like, you know, I have these cups and I don't know what to do with them. Just the act of being grateful and seeing where you've come from could be a good time. Looking at your home, and if it is something that you don't feel at home in, then using this potential of the magician, which is the number one, the first archetype after the Fool, where after we take the leap of faith, we're here to create with all the elements that we have at our disposal. So it's really to see what you do have and be like, okay, well, what can I create with this that makes me feel more at home or more safe or more at ease as well.
Yeah. And Ten of Cups could be like gathering. You know, if you're not motivated to do anything in the house, sometimes having people over can like give you a kick to motivate you to decorate a little bit, to clean up a little bit, especially if we have had a hectic winter. Sometimes like in the winter you feel so depressed, you don't necessarily want to do, like, you get home, you're tired. A spring cleaning, that was the time.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of spring cleaning, invite a couple of friends. Maybe you might even have good friends that like are willing to help you clean. It's just gathering and like being thankful for what is like the transition from the winter to the spring.
Interesting. And that was Taurus?
Gemini. That was Gemini.
Cancer, third house.
Cancer. Mostly going to resonate with, we're doing rising signs, but if it resonates with your moon, your Venus, Mars, your sun, some people feel certain aspects of their chart more strongly.
But this is in the second house, right? So the second house would be...
Cancer is the third house.
It's in the third house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would that mean?
For Cancer, it falls in the third house, but it could still resonate for each planet.
For sure, but if it falls on the third house, what does that mean for Cancer?
Third house is your direct, like your direct friends, your direct like siblings, your neighbors, short trips. I always say like when the third house is afflicted, it's always like, it doesn't matter if the trip is just like going to some monument somewhere in your city that you've never seen. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be like a whole big ordeal. It could be just like a day trip where you go out of town, buy some pastries, come back. But discovering your neighborhood.
And the shadow side of that, what would it be if somebody's going through a rough patch?
Communication. So it's the Gemini house. Third house is the Gemini house. So it might be like being a little bit more careful with how you communicate on a day-to-day basis, you know?
For some reason I'm getting like, don't be cooped up in the house. It's getting nice outside now. So it's like a little bit opposite of Gemini, where like Gemini needs to clean up their house and invite some people over.
Cancers need to get out.
Cancers need to go to Gemini's house and help them clean up.
I love that.
Yeah, and now you guys are going to have Mars enter your sign. Gemini has had 8 months of Mars in their sign. Now it's Cancer's turn. So
yeah,
you guys are going to
go do things.
Yeah, get out, do things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And let's see what kind of card comes out for Cancer rising.
Magician again.
But a reverse.
Wow.
I see Gemini and Cancer are getting together. They're
maybe they are, or maybe they should get together. Maybe they'll help each other. But yeah, basically, if you're talking about the whole Mars, I have right away like the Mars. If you feel like you've been procrastinating on doing things or getting stuff done, now would be a perfect time. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting like, stop procrastinating. You have all the elements in front of you, and it's just a question of like doing it. And if we're talking about the third house, which is like communication, well then if you've been inquiring about a business or opening a business, the first step is just to get the information. Go see people that have already had that information, who have already started the stuff that you wanted to start, and ask them questions, right? Everybody's innate nature is to help, and especially if they have, people like to talk about themselves, so take advantage of that.
And with that, I'm getting like, don't overlook your friends, because usually the third house is more like your immediate network as opposed to like a bigger gathering. So if you're saying like, oh, if you're thinking of starting a business, the best thing is to ask the people around you, like your closest friends. Somebody might have good advice for you that you don't necessarily think that this person knows, but they might know a person who knows a person who knows a person.
Yeah. Absolutely, for sure. That's what I'm getting with you guys, to go ask the questions. And I mean, Cancer is always, for me, Cancer has always been like, they don't want to bother anybody. They never want to go direct, but now is your time to actually go directly. Don't go around the bush. Just literally go and just ask the question. The worst that they could say is, I don't know, right? Or I don't want to tell you, and who cares if they don't want to tell you. But what she's saying, I think it's very important too. What Hera is saying is, they might not know, but they might know exactly who you need to go talk to at that very specific moment. So don't overlook your friends or business, or even colleagues.
Not your Gemini partners.
Yeah, there you go. And the last,
it is in the third, like the third house is ruled by Gemini.
Yeah.
So if Cancers have some Gemini friends, this is the time to.
There you go. Absolutely. And then last but not least,
Leo. That's your rising sign, second house.
Leo.
Second house of money, self-worth, worth in general.
So the shadow aspect could be like triggers of self-worth, not feeling worthy enough of the things that you're doing or you want to do.
It could be like letting go of what no longer serves in terms of like hoarding. There are things that you actually own that you don't need anymore. You can just release.
Yes. Thank you. I have just had like so many things accumulating in my house. Ever since I had the baby, we're just kind of like piling on things that we need, and I need to clean out my locker. I need to clean out everything, just reorganizing everything in my house. That definitely rings true, for sure. Second house of like the things that have accumulated physically, and also values. It's like the intrinsic values of. Again, I don't remember who it was. The 12th house was for. 12th house was
Libra.
Yeah. I think we talked about values. It's like, are you staying true to your values? The second house is a little bit like that, where are the things you hoarding really valuable? Or are you just holding on because it's like sentimental value?
Yeah. It could also be this need or this idea that, this notion, this false notion that we are not enough. Like a lot of people actually just like hoard to fill that need.
That's
but it could be the release of needing to believe that,
Pentacles.
That's really interesting, actually. That makes a lot of sense, because we usually fill up a void. That's the way I see it. When hoarding, they're trying to fill up a void.
Yeah.
Like fear of the fear of not having enough.
Yeah.
Or not trusting, right? It could also be not trusting yourself, not trusting the universe, not trusting the process. That's really interesting, actually. So they had the Wheel of Fortune in reverse that popped up, and then you have the page. So the wheel, and then the page, the wheel, and then the page. So the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, meaning that, to me, I feel like it's like a slowdown, in the sense that you need to slow down, stop doing so much, and really taking the opportunity to really look at your environment. So if it is time to actually clean up and whatnot, sometimes you just have to take a step back and just look at everything and see what needs to, like, what is it exactly that needs to be released, so you can make room for new stuff, because that's the whole idea, right? When you're cleaning house, is to make way for new stuff to come in, stuff that you actually do want. And I feel like it's a very potent energy right now for you to start really looking into different financial means. The Page of Materials is being curious. It's that childlike curiosity about like, oh, what if I do this? What if I dabber in this? How about I go in here? And to get forward into that motion of trying new things and to not be attached to anything, just allowing it to flow and see where it takes you. But to do that, you need to let go of stuff that are holding you back, or stuff that you're holding yourself back for whatever reason. If we're talking about self-worth, you know, it's time to look at that side of that part of ourselves that be like, well, am I not trying that because I don't feel worthy enough to do it? Am I not trying that because I don't feel like I'm good enough? And if that's the case, what do I need to acquire to actually gain that confidence? How can I get that confidence to actually go, like, what are you doing in stopping yourself into at least trying the stuff that you want to try? That's what I'm seeing over here with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and then the Page of Materials. That makes sense.
Yeah. And the page for me is always like junior energy. It's new energy. So it's definitely ringing true with like clearing out space so that the new can come in. Yeah. And not worrying about necessarily experience in a way. Just because the page is like an apprentice, right? Like don't worry about trying something out
and failing. You need to fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Not being afraid of failing.
Especially because the Wheel of Fortune came out, so it's like you just try something new. It'll most likely go well. It will most likely go better than you think it will.
Or it most likely won't go well, and that's okay. That's the way I see it. It's like you will fail because that's what a novice does.
But you'll learn through. You'll learn through the.
But you need to make those mistakes. It's a necessity part, and necessity. It's like a child learning how to walk. It literally falls 1,000 times before it actually gets it, and that's just because all the limbs are getting used to it, all the nerves are getting used to it, and they're just being adapted and molded into where you want to go right now, which takes time. And if you don't fail, then you don't actually adapt that system or those nerves endings, or the vision or the thoughts, or
so that rounds up our zodiac list.
That's pretty much it. I don't know if anybody else wanted to add anything.
I just want to say that on the 23rd,
right after the new moon,
both of the generational planets are moving into new signs. So we're going to see a completely drastic change within ourselves and in the world. So
fun.
Yeah. Right now it's kind of like, I feel like it's a clearing out period. It's like letting go really for everybody, not just specific to one sign, but just everyone's just letting go of what no longer serves. Things might pop up that might not be that enjoyable or pleasant.
But you need to go through it.
Yeah. And then on the 21st is the new moon, which coincides with the spring equinox, which is the new year for a lot of, the astrology, and for Persians and a lot of people around the world. So
the real New Year's.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And
then
then 3 days. And then 3 days or 2 days after that, we have those two planets going into new signs. So it's going to be very powerful. So brace yourselves right now. Just do the clearing, do the grounding, be compassionate with yourself no matter what you're going through. It's all meant to be. It's all part of the plan. And then just know that there are beautiful things that await us. I really believe that, globally.
Absolutely.
I really believe that.
Absolutely. If everybody does their part in releasing their gunk.
Yeah.
If everybody actually steps into their power this year to realize that their emotions are, that their limiting emotions or triggers are only to propel them into the higher versions of themselves, and they actually step into it. If you don't get caught up into the whys and the hows, and just realize, what, I need to find a way to release or acknowledge it or face it, so you can just take your power back. Because I feel like that's what we're ending. We're taking our power back. Basically, to stop not encouraging, what's that word I'm looking for? not encouraging the excuses, but the opposite of that.
Opposite of encouraging?
Yeah.
Enabling?
There's not a
Like,
word.
do you mean, are we trying to stop people from
No,
doing
just
like bad habits?
not necessarily. It's more like in a sense of like your excuses.
Stop enabling yourself.
No, I don't know why I'm like, the word has escaped me, but it's basically like, stop arguing your excuses. Like stop
Making excuses?
No, not even that. It's just, you can make excuses, but then not even justifying. It's like I've come to a place where I don't even want to argue anybody's excuses anymore. Like, I'm not going to argue your excuses, right? You want to argue your excuses a lot. Like, there's a big shift happening. That's what I'm feeling. You have all the people that are going to have their excuses, and then you have the people that are not going to be arguing anybody's, not even their own excuses, right? Don't even argue your own excuses. They're excuses only so you can propel into this new version of yourselves. You can stick with the excuses, which is just you holding on to this old version of yourselves, or you can finally realize that there's a new version that wants to step in to allow that stepping in. But to do that, you have to stop arguing the excuses. Oh, this is why I can't have this. This is why I can't do this. This is why I don't have this. So it's really stepping out of it. And I feel like that's where the shift is happening. Mm-hmm. You have a group of people heading that way, people who are just not ready, who have not come here to evolve. And then you have the other group that's going this way, who are like, no, this is where I'm going. This is what I've decided to do here in this plane. And there's not a right or wrong way. It's just you need to decide at this point. Everybody needs to decide. So that's what it is. No more arguing your excuses if that's the decision, if that's the path you want to take. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And that's it, I think. I don't think there was anything else we can add to that. Comes what, I guess in the new moon would be the next one, the next live.
It's going to be very powerful.
Yeah.
The 21st of March, guys.
New moon in Aries.
Oh my
21st of March. And our technical difficulties will be settled. We'll make sure of that. And yeah.
This is a classic example of what we meant, you know? Go with the flow, see where it goes, and have compassion for the process.
So I just decided to take some random cards for the collective. And we have the Taro, the Tower, the Ten of Swords, which is two cards that we saw before, but we have the Muse, which is the King of Swords in the middle. To me, it just means that there's still a lot of chaos, a lot of things that are going to come up to the surface, and that's okay. Don't take anything personal. Don't take anything personal. If it is directly like affecting you, then it's only to teach you how to do boundaries, how to set boundaries, how to let go of the people that are not in your best interest, or, you know, they have to go on their own way, do their own things. And we're all here to find our voice. Like the King of Swords is someone who finds their voice. So let go of the drama. This whole earth has been orchestrated on drama. The whole idea of coming here is to see and feel the drama, so you can then release yourself from it, because that's where the shift happens. That's where the growth happens. You need the drama, you need the chaos for growth. You just need chaos. There will not be any growth if we're not out of our comfort zone. And it's basically to help you find your voice, create your kingdom.
Yeah, what I'm getting with this is like, if you don't do the work, you're gonna get the push anyway.
Yeah.
Like the universe is gonna give you that push.
Exactly.
If you're not doing the work, then it's just you're making things worse for yourself.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And a lot of surrendering too, I think. I'm getting just surrendering to the process.
Yeah, that's all you can do with the Tower.
Yeah,
that's all you can do. And the Ten of Swords,
just observe it from a bird's eye view. Oh, this is happening. Okay.
Yeah.
The whatever you're going through, say like it's a 3-hour traffic jam or whatever. You just look at it like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And
there must be a reason why.
There must be a reason.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I believe there's a reason for every single thing that happens, even the
Absolutely.
smallest things. They're there to teach you. So
I absolutely agree.
surrender to the process. Wait till the 23rd of March. I cannot wait.
23rd.
I will be dancing away.
I can't wait till the 21st.
Yes.
Let's get this new year started.
Yes, and please tune in to us next time.
Bye, everybody.
Keep dancing.
Keep dancing.
Keep vibing.
Keep vibing. Keep dancing. And keep thriving. And now I just have to figure out how to stop this. Oh, there we go.